Hey, how's everyone doing? It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, it's Bitcoin Ben, here to let you know about our latest club that you personally can invest in and own a piece of. That's our club at Mar-a-Lago. And yes, I did say Mar-a-Lago. You, as an individual, can own shares 1% up to 4% of that club, and it's only $12,500 per 1%. Now, what that entitles you to is, as the club is profitable, and folks, the club is literally right down the road from Mar-a-Lago. So give us a call or send us a text at 941-391-3882. Give us a call, send us a text, and what we can do is set you up with our owner's call every week. And that owner's call will allow you to figure out whether or not you want to own part of the club. So if you want on the owner's call the inside information, give us a call, 941-391-3882. The number is scrolling right across here, 941-391-3882. Give us a call now and learn how you can own a share of the club at Mar-a-Lago. And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world, Bitcoin Ben. Here for the daily, what the fuck is going on in cryptocurrencies? Well, folks, I can tell you this. Michael Saylor has finally realized what I've been trying to tell everyone over and over again. The Bitcoin is going to go up. Hang on one second. We have everyone so bored. Last night, while I was sleeping, of course, the freaking Bitcoin hit 98. Oh, did you say wrong, Mike? Yep, wrong, Mike. Hang on one second. There we go. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Rick, you're a lifesaver, brother. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. All right, is that a little bit better? Is that a little bit better? Testing, a little bit better. Bingo. Good. All right, yeah, I'm at our rental house here in St. Louis, because we have a house right next to our club. So when I have our teams in St. Louis, we have a house that we can actually keep our people and our guests in whenever they fly in. So, like I was saying, right, this is what Michael Saylor said. The Bitcoin is going up $1 million a year for the next 21 years. Michael Saylor, you're getting there, brother. You're getting there. He's right, except his mathematical calculations on level of adoption globally is wrong. Because I watched him over in Prague, and he laid out, this is why it's going up $1 million a year for the next 21 years. If you have a chance, watch that episode. His problem is, what he's not seeing is global adoption is at a higher rate than he thinks. His adoption rate, he's actually going off of, is last year's adoption. He isn't adding on, right? He isn't adding on what is actually going out and what is actually being purchased. What's actually being purchased right now on the exchanges, and I'm telling you folks, there are groups that are dropping the price, and then they are actually dropping the price, and then they are actually buying right back up. And that's what they're doing, because they know what we know, what I know, is we're about to hit a point where it is, the supply is going to be so small. Like, if you've seen the level of actual cryptos, sorry guys, the Bitcoin on exchanges is dropped like a rock. It just keeps dropping. The available amount of actual purchasing, the actual Bitcoin is dropping on exchanges. And shout out to Pump on X. He just raised $1 billion to purchase a shit ton of Bitcoin. $1 billion. That's the largest single raise for a reserve company ever. $1 billion for one company. And it's a new company. And they haven't even started actually purchasing the Bitcoin. What I want people to wrap their heads around is this. We are so used to an American market or an Australian market or a Chinese market or an Asian market or a Russian market. We are in a global 100%. Hell, there might be aliens fucking buying it. I don't know. But this is a global, decentralized asset that has one blockchain. One blockchain, right? Over in Asia, or here in America, whenever you purchase a share, you don't receive the share. They don't mail it to you. With the Bitcoin, when you purchase it and you receive it, that what happened to my camera? Hang on 1 second. I'm going to shut off. All right. I'm going to shut off my Wi-Fi. There we go. All right. I'm shutting off my Wi-Fi because I don't need it, because I'm hooked right into it. This is what's so important, guys, is that we realize that we realize the global adoption level is absolutely off the charts. We are gaining, guys. We are gaining just in corporations. We are gaining 20 to 30 companies a week, at least. I think it's more, but I can only prove about 20 to 30 companies. And guys and gals, what's going on over in Iran? Did you see what happened over in Iran? When they hit the nuclear site, the hash rate of the Bitcoin dropped 20%. What does that tell you? Who's mining the Bitcoin? Iran was. Iran was mining a significant amount of Bitcoin. And, all right, I'm gonna have to break this completely down for you guys. Who we are at war with in Iran is the global deep state. That's who we're at war with in Iran. It isn't the Iranian people. It's the CIA. It's the Mossad. I know that sounds weird. Wait, isn't Israel at war with Iran? Yes, Israel, the real Jews, not the Khazarian Jews who run Mossad. The Khazarian Jews run Mossad. The real Jews, Netanyahu, that's who's at war with the Mossad. That's why they locked up Netanyahu last year. Remember, Netanyahu was in jail in Israel last year. Why? Because of Joe Biden and the global deep state. Now he's out, right? And now Trump, Netanyahu, Putin, and Xi over in China are all working to get rid of the global deep state. Who runs Iran? The CIA does. The CIA and Mossad run Iran. They have since the late 70s. Hell, earlier than that, shit, the fucking 1950s, late, that was 1958. That's how long that the CIA and Mossad has ran Iran. Folks, this is what is going on. Okay, I'm going to break it down completely, and this will make absolute sense as you listen to it. Here's the globe. Here's the world. All right. The globalist had set up locations after World War II. They had set up North Korea, Ukraine, Iran, and Taiwan, and Washington, D.C., and Israel. Those six. And each one of them had their own job. Washington, D.C. was the CIA. They were in charge. Oh, and also London and New York. London and New York are one entity. Don't think of them as separate. Washington, D.C. was the information hub for the globalists. Now, Ukraine was the hub of, let's call it engineering, chemical engineering, the bioweapons. North Korea was nuclear threat. Taiwan, technology. These were all of the industries and all of the organization of the globalist control. And there we go. I'm back. So you had Iran and Saudi Arabia running global oil. You had Ukraine running science and the bioweapons. You had Taiwan running technology, the microchips. Right? You had Washington, D.C. running the CIA and the undercover operations. You had London and New York running the financial system. You follow me? Then you had North Korea, who was always the crazy. This was the system globally, oh, and also Switzerland. They set up this system globally to control the their enemies, because what the CIA and Mossad and MI6 and all that shit, and Australia, all that shit, all of the Five Eyes, right? What they had set up for was right now, because this is the progressive movement. All of these are the progressive movement. Take down every single country and reorganize the governments of every single country. And the last one that they're coming for is us here in America. Now, and this is good, just follow me on this. Saudi Arabia was a bad guy until the Las Vegas shooting. Do you remember the Las Vegas shooting? After the Las Vegas shooting, the Prince of Saudi Arabia went to Saudi Arabia and killed half of his family. They arrested them and they killed them because the Las Vegas event was in, they were going after him. Saudi Arabia owns the top 4 floors of that hotel in Las Vegas. They were going after him that night. Exactly. There was a hit on the Prince in Vegas. Yes. And who warned him? Trump. And another guy in Las Vegas named Wynn. W-Y-N. YNN, I think, who warned the prince what was getting ready to come down. Right? So he flies home, he arrests half of his family, and he puts them in a hotel. And then he executes half of his family. That's whenever Saudi Arabia partnered with Trump. Now, Saudi Arabia has a lot of influence on Iran. How do you think Israel and America got all of the information about where the leaders were in Iran last week when Netanyahu had all of them killed at once? In 1 hour, they had every major leader, CIA plants in Iran wiped out. Wiped the fuck out. This is one of the reasons Russia went into Ukraine. Because Russia, China. Because remember, guys, Xi over in China, the old president was shot and killed, assassinated. Xi, when he came into office, wiped out half of the leadership of the communist movement. Folks, this is a bigger deal than anyone realizes. Now, here's the little secret that nobody really wraps their heads around. We just wiped out Iran. Now, there's going to be a little here and there, and they're going to try and come back and all that shit. Don't worry. We just took out Iran. Ukraine is done. Taiwan will leave that to China. All right? Because China was waiting to take out Taiwan until we actually took out Iran. Because China gets 80% of Iran's oil. They didn't want to risk losing that oil for their economy. So they said, hey, if you want us, China, to take out Taiwan, you're going to have to fucking take out Iran before we take out Taiwan. Now, if you have no idea what the fuck I'm actually talking about, you have to go back in history and look at how North Korea was created. What happened with China and Taiwan? All of the Western progressives took over Taiwan, and we allowed China to grow. All right. Exactly. North Korea is a puppet state. It was created as a puppet for the CIA. Right? There's a reason America, the American government, yes, right. Israel deep state was last. October 7th, listen to me closely. October 7th was Netanyahu taking out the Israeli deep state. That's what October 7th was. That's why there was a stand down. All right. Israel has the most ridiculous security. Right? They have the Iron Dome. Right? Israel has unbelievable security, and yet hand gliders and a bunch of son of a bitch run over and grab and kill thousands of Iranians or of Israelis. Everyone who was captured or killed, that was the deep state of Israel. That's who they got rid of. And that's what led Netanyahu, that's what gave him a green light to wipe out Hamas. Hamas is CIA. And Hamas is funded by Iran. Folks, why do you think President Obama flew $300 billion in cash on pallets right after Trump was elected the first time? Trump won the election in November. In December, ships $300 billion in cash to Iran. Really? $300 billion in cash on pallets to Iran right before President Trump's election. Last election, not this last one, 2016. Folks, now, all of this is getting set up. So we, the good guys, we now have Ukraine. We now have North Korea. We now have Saudi Arabia. We now have Iran. Last, and China will handle Taiwan. That's going to be easy for them. They're just going to float over and grab it. Right? We have a question, and the answer is yes. So deep state took all of that cash. Yes. Yes. That's what they funded the deep state with when Trump was president last time. Now, the last ones, remember, we have Iran, we have Ukraine, China will take out Taiwan, we have North Korea. What is left is London and New York. London and New York, the two financial capitals of the world. And here's what people need to realize. The nuclear weapon against New York and London is the Bitcoin. I've said it for years. I said it years ago. Taiwan will capitulate before there is a ground assault. I completely agree. Because now that Iran's out, they got no fucking protection. They got nothing. They are sitting fucking ducks, and they know it. I completely agree with you, Nash, on that. They're Taiwan. They don't have weapons. They don't have ships. Fuck them. They're done. Now, London and New York. Why do you think the mayor of New York just announced, oh, hey, by the way, New York is going to launch a bond and it's going to be backed by Bitcoin? Folks, the system is coming down. The system is coming down. And the last why do you think, right? Why do you think when we hit Iran's nuclear site, why do you think the hash rate of the Bitcoin at the exact same time we hit Iran's nuclear power plant, why do you think the hash rate of the Bitcoin dropped? Because, right? Because exactly, nuclear powered miners. Bingo. That's why as soon as we hit the nuclear power plant, the hash rate of the Bitcoin dropped 20%. Like that. I mean, it fell off the cliff. Somebody shut off the power. Folks, it's because the bad guys, the deep state, have been mining fucking Bitcoin in North Korea, in Iran. Now, this is when the last shoe falls, or whatever the fuck they say. Because now Trump's going after New York and London. And we don't have to shoot nobody. There ain't nothing like that. All we have to do is shoot the price of the Bitcoin up and watch the capital flow in. Do you think that this is all a big just happenstance? Folks, come on. There's no such thing as fucking coincidence. Like, here's a little history. Here's a little CIA history. No, I can't really talk about that. Here, I'll generalize it. What do you think happened in 2007 and 2008 with the great financial collapse? That was us. That was the good guys. We were trying to take out the globalist financial system. Look at what caused it, folks. Look at what caused. Do some deep research. Look into some deep research of where the 2007, 2008 collapse, where it originated. What was it that set off the collapse? All right. Now, that failed. That failed because we didn't think that they could save the system. We didn't think they could get enough people in government to actually bail out all of the banks. That failed. What came next in 2009? The Bitcoin. That was the next weapon that was created again. Exactly. The white paper came out in 2008, late 2008. They started mining it 2009. Now, this is what's important. What was the last communication with Satoshi Nakamoto? It was when one of the other guys told him the CIA had reached out to him and wanted to have a conversation with him. And then Satoshi Nakamoto went blank. That was it. Because the CIA was trying to infiltrate the Bitcoin. They knew what was going on. The CIA reached out. It was either Adam Back or it was Hal. I don't remember which one reached or who the CIA reached out to. If anyone in the chat remembers, please let me know. I want to say was it Adam Back that they reached out to? It's irrelevant. The CIA reached out and said, hey, we want to talk to you about this Bitcoin thing. Satoshi Nakamoto was never heard from again. Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you, David. Yes, it was Gavin Anderson. And that's who yeah. Guys, just to let you know, my internet is not bad here. I have good internet, and it keeps on fucking cutting. So, I may have to actually shoot the show from CALIX tomorrow because I don't like this half-ass internet bullshit. But yeah, I think you were right. I think it was actually Gavin who the CIA reached out to. All right. Now, after the CIA reached out to Gavin, and as soon as Gavin told Satoshi Nakamoto that the CIA had reached out to them, Satoshi Nakamoto went ghost. Now, you have to remember, this is after WikiLeaks, all that shit with WikiLeaks. And Satoshi Nakamoto warned him, oh, no, we don't need this. We're too early. It isn't large enough yet. We don't want WikiLeaks using it as a currency yet. Well, as soon as the CIA reached out, there went Satoshi Nakamoto. And for those of you who don't know, let me inform you who one of the very key people is of Satoshi Nakamoto. You don't have to believe me, but it's actually Vitalik's dad. Yes, the guy who created Ethereum, it was his father who was actually doing the majority of the communication for Satoshi Nakamoto up in Canada. Look it up, guys. Look up Vitalik Butrin's father. Look who he is. Look who he went to college with. Look who he shared a floor at college with. I'll give you a hint. Putin. Yes, exactly. Dmitry Vitalik, or you know what the fuck. I'm having one hell of a morning talking. I think it's this interweb shit. Yes, he's a Russian, and he went to college and was on the same floor as Putin in college. I'm telling you guys, this has actually been a plan for a long time. And Satoshi Nakamoto was about a group of about 8 people. Half of them were ex-NSA people. No such agency. Yeah. Now, I'm going to wrap up. Oh, hang on 1 second. Word from the sponsor. Hey, how's everyone doing? It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, it's Bitcoin Ben, here to let you know about our latest club that you personally can invest in and own a piece of. That's our club at Mar-a-Lago. And yes, I did say Mar-a-Lago. You, as an individual, can own shares 1% up to 4% of that club. And it's only $12,500 per 1%. Now, what that entitles you to is as the club is profitable, and folks, the club is literally right down the road from Mar-a-Lago. So give us a call or send us a text at 941-391-3882. Give us a call, send us a text. And what we can do is set you up with our owner's call every week. And that owner's call will allow you to figure out whether or not you want to own part of the club. So if you want on the owner's call the inside information, give us a call, 941-391-3882. The number is scrolling right across here, 941-391-3882. Give us a call now and learn how you can own a share of the club at Mar-a-Lago. And we're back. All right, now I'm going to wrap this up really quick, guys. This is it. Trump and the Treasury Department, that's why they just passed the Genius Bill. The Genius Bill is to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Because what they are going to do is they are going to decentralize the Treasury bonds. They are no longer going to let the Federal Reserve print the money. They are replacing the $1 bill with a stable coin structure. Because in the old days, Federal would okay, we're back. The Federal Reserve would purchase the treasuries from the Treasury Department and then print up money. They would print it out of nowhere. Now, that was strictly for the Federal Reserve. They were the only ones who issued currency. Right now, with the, isn't it ironic how I'm explaining this and shit keeps fucking going out? Right? Is now with the Genius Bill, Tether, Circle, Michael Saylor, coming soon, will be able to issue stable coins that are backed with U.S. Treasury bonds. Now, the key is, listen to me, folks, this is what no one's put together yet. They're not going to purchase regular Treasury bonds. They're going to purchase a bond where 10% of it is held in Bitcoin. That's the kicker, because now everyone who wants to issue us a stable coin in the Bitcoin or in the US will have to purchase Treasury bonds from the federal government. The federal government is then going to take 10% of those bonds and purchase the Bitcoin and put it into, yes, the Treasury. You are absolutely right. They will make PTC a treasury instrument. Yes, 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 yes. That's the big plan. That's what Trump knows. And that is going to kill every fiat, every global reserve in the world, because the European Union ain't going to do it. They hate Bitcoin. They're on a suicide mission. The European Union is done. Absolutely fucking done. Sorry, guys. But the U.S. Treasury, this is how Trump's going to accumulate a shit ton of Bitcoin. Because, guys, the bond market, the U.S. bond market is the largest in the world. We're talking hundreds of trillions of dollars. And everyone in the world are going to want those bonds, including the stablecoin issuers, which gets rid of, because the Federal Reserve will no longer be the only one who goes out. Guys, welcome to the new world. We are in the process. Why do you think Chairman Powell, right? Why do you think he hasn't lowered interest rates yet? Because that's his only weapon. And they're trying to crash the economy. They are trying to create civil unrest here in America, so it slows Trump down. Nope. 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 Iran, gone. North Korea, gone. Ukraine, gone. Taiwan will be gone here soon. China's going to handle that one. And London and New York, welcome to Bitcoin, bitches. The ultimate weapon against the global monetary system, against the elites, the Illuminati, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Because, as I've said for years, the Bitcoin is the last weapon. I said this in 2018, and everyone thought I was crazy. They're like, Trump doesn't like Bitcoin. And I kept saying, you guys don't understand. You guys don't understand. It's the last weapon they're going to use. It's the ultimate weapon against fiat currency. Because what does the Bitcoin, what's its only job? Eat fiat. That's it. Eat fiat. Folks, we've already won. Tick tock, next block. Now, everyone have a great day. I'm in St. Louis. I got a shit ton of work to wrap up. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow, and I will be broadcasting tomorrow from my office at CALIX Solutions, because this internet sucks. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, how's everyone doing? It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, it's Bitcoin Ben, here to let you know about our latest club that you personally can invest in and own a piece of. That's our club at Mar-a-Lago. And yes, I did say Mar-a-Lago. You, as an individual, can own shares 1% up to 4% of that club. And it's only $12,500 per 1%. Now, what that entitles you to is, as the club is profitable, and folks, the club is literally right down the road from Mar-a-Lago. So give us a call or send us a text at 941-391-3882. Give us a call, send us a text. And what we can do is set you up with our owner's call every week. And that owner's call will allow you to figure out whether or not you want to own part of the club. So if you want on the owner's call the inside information, give us a call, 941-391-3882. The number is scrolling right across here, 941-391-3882. Give us a call now and learn how you can own a share of the club at Mar-a-Lago.